Hello, welcome to One Shot Wonder, a new series from Oxventure. One Shot Wonder will whisk you away on daring adventures and spectacular journeys through the unknown. Join us every episode for all new games and all new players. Sound like fun? Then why not subscribe for more and join us for our spine-tingling playthrough. Crash zoom on me now. Of Dread. Hello everyone, welcome back to Hallowstream for an exciting game of the tabletop masterpiece Dread. I am joined here by, my goodness, who are these interesting travellers? Why don't you introduce yourselves in character?
Oh, me?
Yes, if you would. Thank you.
My name's Killian Winters. I'm a thinker, poet, free spirit, trying to break free of the shackles of economic slavery that have taken over society. I came out into the wilderness to try and get some peace and quiet, try and work on my my next book, and realise all these other people would be here.
Hi, I'm Madison Haybury. I don't know why I'm here, to be honest.
Cool.
And I'm Brad, and I'm stuck with these two nerds.
Nerds? Excuse you.
Both look like total nerds to me. I'm the quarterback in the college football team, and I'm the coolest guy around. So, yeah, everyone's a nerd compared to me.
Okay, thank you all for your character introductions.
Fascist.
I don't know what that word means, so
Yeah.
Checkmate. Speaking of checkmate, let's do some tabletop rules. The setting for this Dread adventure is as follows. You wanted to do something a bit more adventurous for spring break. The trip was great until last night when something mauled your guide and stole your food. Can you make it back to civilization? And now if I'll just introduce what Dread is, it is basically a tabletop horror game that uses as its core mechanic a Jenga tower. So when your characters want to attempt something that is outside their normal wheelhouse or in any way difficult, the kind of thing like in D&D or Blaze in the Dark you'd be asked to roll for, instead it is one or more pulls. That's what the game calls them, you must pull. If the tower falls on your turn, your character dies. So the stakes are pretty sky high, folks.
Dying would be a stone groove, my man.
I give Killian an atomic wedgie.
I stopped him from doing that.
Okay, we can get into all this because I want these to be pulls that you have to do. Okay, those are the basics. There are a few more rules. You must use one hand at a time when you go for a Jenga pull, though you may switch hands at any time. Got that? The block being pulled must be from beneath the topmost complete layer, so obviously no having, the top row. After it's pulled, the block must be placed atop the tower, aligned in the opposite direction of the blocks in the layer beneath it. Place it within the topmost layer if it is incomplete. After placing the block on top, wait a few moments to see if the tower will collapse.
Sure.
That's just polite. Players may change their mind about what part of a complex action a particular pull represents at any time during the process. And then these are two very important additional rules. You can abandon a pull at any time. So if you're poking a Jenga piece out and you think, I don't like the way this is going, I think it's going to topple, you can stop. You can stop at any time your character fails whatever they were attempting to do, but you can stop. And you can additionally knock the tower over on purpose at any time. This kills your character, but they will achieve their aim. So whatever it was they were trying to do.
Like a heroic sacrifice.
Yeah, you can do one of those for me.
Okay, cool. Right, are we all sort
Sacrificing myself for someone in a Greg's jacket.
Greg's you from Greg's University.
Greg's University.
Greg's University.
I take everyone with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kill both these two. Bam. Game over.
If you're watching this YouTube video and you're wondering why there's only another minute left of the video, it's because
of these guys.
It's because Ellen's character
and their ways.
Right. So just to remind me of everyone's names, we've got Killian.
Yeah.
And then Madison.
And then Brad.
We didn't get the rhyming memo.
Yeah. Bradison.
Killian, Madison.
Suddenly if our two characters end up in a relationship.
In the real world, we are in the extremely stylish and cool confines of Loading Bar in Stoke Newington, a brilliant video game and tabletop themed pub that you should absolutely check out if you never have. However, leave behind the realm of the real and enter the world of your own imaginations. Because in fact, you are deep in the forests of the Grand Canyon. You're towards the end of an outdoor adventure week during spring break, a digital and physical wellness detox retreat run by Touchgrass Travel Co. Your expert guides have taken you, a group of 6 college students, through some really interesting topics. You've had beginner level hiking and rafting and camping. You've spent 5 days camping, hiking, rafting through this magnificent scenery, and spent yesterday exploring the forests of the canyon slopes before splitting the group in 2. And after a final team lunch, depending on whether you individually booked to end the trip with a climbing or rafting adventure, you are now breaking into those sort of 2 groups. So,
can we just, when you say split the group in 2 and this is a horror game, I just want to make sure it's just 2 groups of 3.
Make a pull to remain in half.
You did ask for that.
Yeah. Okay. Can I kind of feel around, or do I?
When you touch one brick,
that's what I've got to go for.
I think, let's say, I'm going to say you're allowed to feel around, only because, unlike in a regular Jenga game where you're kind of playing against other people, if you feel around, you're kind of disadvantaging whoever goes next. So you probably don't want to do that so much. Okay. All right.
Do you want to push it a little further before you start pulling?
No, because I want to push.
Oh my.
Ellen,
Oh no! Oh no!
You can abandon it if you want and be in half.
You really painted yourself into a corner here, Madison.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, I know there's a really good one.
Okay.
Put it in the middle! Oh my god.
All right.
You all survived this far. You all survived.
I didn't realise I was in danger.
Madison
Who was going to go in half, man?
Exactly. Madison was walking along a canyon, nearly lost her footing and slipped, being sliced on a sharp bit of tree, but luckily managed to catch her footing, which is such a relief to you all. So, you've split the group. Melanie, Alex and Lucas, they went off with their guide, Mr. Bennington, to climb out of the canyon. They were kind of, they wanted to do more climbing stuff, while you 3 are headed back to the rafts with your guide, Eric, to traverse the rapids downriver. It's a bittersweet moment, this parting, because the 6 of you spent a lot of time in close proximity. Some of your fellow hikers you'll have formed tight bonds with, others less so. Some you're probably sick of the sight of them, and those aren't necessarily the ones you'll now be spending the last leg of the trip.
Why didn't you tell me all the nerds would be doing rafting?
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
Bad luck, Brad.
This is baloney.
He wanted to call you Greg for obvious reasons.
It would have made a lot more sense.
You.
Yeah, Brad from Greg U.
One of the best universities in the Southwest.
We'll get it.
For college football.
So, you made camp in the forest, an hour's hike from the river where you left the rafts, and you went to bed.
Cool. I sleep like a baby.
Okay.
I win even at sleeping.
I stay up experiencing the sights and sounds of the forest and making kind of a note of how they sound and how they make me feel.
I snore really loudly and cover up all of those sounds.
Cool.
Someone's starting up a chainsaw out there?
Okay. You're all, nevertheless, eventually you drift off to sleep. Until around 3 a.m. when you're all woken from your sleep by screaming.
I was just about to throw the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl.
In your mind.
In my mind.
In the dream in the game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't make me press a thing out for that.
No, I won't. You're woken by screaming and the snapping of tent poles. Springing out of your tents and into the cold of the moonlit night, you can dimly make out a wide area of shredded canvas and debris where Eric's tent was. A broad blood trail on the ground leads you towards the screaming, where you find Eric, his breath coming in ragged gasps, clutching his stomach, where fresh blood pours out of a wide gash across his belly. The blood appears quite black in the moonlight.
Oh my... Does anyone know first aid?
It's so groany!
We have a
Apply
team
pressure
medic for
to the
that.
wound.
Eric's in a bad way.
Oh my god.
You don't say.
He's in big trouble. Blood is pouring freely from his chest. What do?
I'm gonna press down on the wound. I'm gonna
Okay.
put pressure on it.
Does your character have first aid experience?
God, no.
Okay.
I've read a lot of books.
Make me a pull then for to try and just press down on the wound, aiming to just kind of stabilize.
That's a good one. Because that kept trying to go.
A nice clear.
Cool.
Nice.
Nice clear one.
Nice. One other thing I'll just make clear as well up top is that if you accidentally knock the tower over, your character still dies. Yeah. So there we go. So don't do that. Be really good at Jenga. Is my advice. Yeah, you press Killian. You press your hands into the ragged mess that's there. You feel like your hands are just kind of slipping inside Eric. You're struggling to kind of find the edges where there's still skin.
But I'm mentally cataloguing the experience as well.
Why are you doing this?
yes.
This is gross.
Okay, yes, but you are applying pressure. Eric is lapsing. You think he's basically he passes out, whether through pain or blood loss or more
You
likely
killed him,
both.
you idiot!
I'm too busy doing stuff to listen to his antics. So.
Okay, right. Anyone doing anything else?
I pull out my phone that I have been still using. On
No,
this.
you don't.
What?
Although do you?
I hate it.
Okay,
That's all
this is
myself.
a digital and wellness detox.
Yeah.
Make me 3 pulls if you want to keep your phone.
Oh.
You can ditch the phone as well. That's another option.
I try and use my phone, but it doesn't work because I smashed it.
Madison, you pull your phone out of your pocket.
Yeah.
It was naughty of you to sneak it on. You've successfully got it this far, but you tripped coming out of your tent.
No.
Must have hit a rock through your pocket or something. Oh no! Yeah, damn.
I
And
was gonna call an ambulance and everything, get the helicopters out.
yeah, wouldn't that have been so sweet? But unfortunately, that is now not possible. Madison, you doing anything else? Brad, you doing anything else?
I spin a football on my finger.
A little harsh this because it's definitely it's nighttime. So
Yes.
No, I don't like that. Don't like that at all.
you taking it back?
Can I try a different one?
Yeah. Quite a few pulls from the front of the tower. Okay, that's all right. That's all
I
right.
got it.
Okay, will we eventually
There
regret?
is an American football spinning on my
Yeah,
finger.
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, even though it's night, it is quite bright out here. There's quite a lot of moonlight. But yeah, you do manage to get like a really good spin going. Yeah, it's pretty good. As it's spinning, in fact, you're so confident that you're able to kind of gaze around and you take in the rest of the campsite. It appears that all the other, there are only 3 other tents, your tents. They all appear to be sort of unharmed. It's just Eric's that was completely totaled.
Yeah, I'd like to have a look around the tent and see, with a torch, and just see what might have occurred.
Yeah,
here,
great
what might have attacked.
great idea, Madison. Yeah, let's make that a pull.
Okay. That's better.
Okay, brilliant. Yes, well done, Madison. You actually get you pull out a torch, a kind of flashlight, and you begin scoping around. You see Eric's tent, or what's left of it. The tent has been completely shredded into kind of ragged pieces.
Like me, shredded.
Shredded into ragged pieces, like
Shredded
Brad. Yeah.
Yes, that's part of my nutritious, fibrous diet. Shall maintain my brilliant figure.
Brad is
How
so
can you
regular.
stand there spinning a football when a man is dying? I say, I've realised there's
Well,
not
what
much
you do
more I
is
can do for Brad.
you try and spin it, and then you just balance it on your finger. That's how you
I
do
grab
it.
the football and I throw it as
Good
hard
arm.
as I can into
Good
the
arm,
sky.
nerd.
Yep. That just happens. Yeah, that's fine.
How far does it go?
Well, you can't see because it's fairly dark.
Goes into the dark.
It's a surprisingly clean throw, actually, for someone with those glasses.
I sort of look around and I'm like, pick up Catcher in the Rye again. I start reading it furiously.
Yeah,
Is that about baseball?
I'm ignoring him.
Brad, what would be a really good throw in American football?
Oh, like 40 yards.
Yeah, this is 45 yards. is your estimate. Yeah, and it just kind of funks down into some foliage. Meanwhile, Madison.
What a bullet.
What a bullet. Meanwhile, Madison, yeah, you've in the time that the lads have been arguing, you've managed to do basically a full inventory of what's going on here. So here's what you've got. Eric's tent is completely destroyed. However, what was inside Eric's tent is largely unharmed. Whatever did this was clearly gunning straight for Eric. There's a two-way radio. There's another flashlight. You've got the only other one, Madison. There's Eric's basically backpack. Looking through that, you've got two emergency flares. There's also a hatchet in here. It's not in Eric's bag. It's just nearby. But you've also got like several plastic bottles of water, a good amount of water. A more limited food supply. Obviously, you're supposed to be finishing the trip in a few days, so there's not a great deal of food. There's a first aid kit, which Eric obviously would have had that being a group leader. Matches, and you all already have a knife, a camping knife on your person, which you were issued at the start of the trip. There is, however, no GPS, no computers, no PDAs, no lighters, no cell phones, Madison, no firearms, and no drugs or booze.
Not anymore. Don't leave me hanging.
Thanks. Right. You've stood up to confront. I keep wanting to say Greg. You stood up to confront Brad, Killian. But from behind you, from the ground, you can hear sort of lapsing back into consciousness. It's Eric, who just coughs and goes.
Eric, what did this to you?
He's struggling to speak. There are more kind of scratches and gouges around his what look like teeth marks, kind of in his throat, although not very deep. Interestingly, so he's just kind of clutching at his neck.
Were there any first aid supplies in the tent?
Yes, there's a first aid kit.
Let's get some of that and try and bandage these wounds.
Yeah, brilliant. I don't think I'll make you pull for that, seeing I'm going to amalgamate it in. Actually,
I'm just going to put bandages on the wounds. I don't know.
You wrap some bandages around the wounds. That's around the wounds even. It's not. I mean, it's not going to save Eric. He sort of lapses into unconsciousness again, but this time as he sort of fades from conscious life, he gets his hand just gripped tight around a pendant on his neck, and he looks at you, Brad, obviously thinking maybe you're physically the one most likely to make it out of this, and says, "Brad, you gotta get it. You gotta get us. You gotta get them." To the ranch. Is it gone?
Is what gone?
And he's sliced back. Yeah.
Greg, what did he say?
My name's Brad.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I take the pendant. It's Greg, you man. I take the pendant and I don't know. I look at it and go, "Oh, it goes with my look." Put it on.
Cool. It's a silver peace sign on a little silver pendant on a silver chain. Okay, right. For the moment, you appear to have stopped the bleeding around Eric's wound, but he's unconscious. It's still the middle of the night. What do you want to do now? Do you want to sort of strike out into the darkness? Do you want to stay here and try and get a little bit more sleep?
Did you say there were maps or anything?
I
know we
didn't.
don't have GPS, but you would have thought the guide would have a map.
I didn't, but make me a pull if you want to try and find a map.
Killian, please.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's part one of it. That's good.
Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit bloodstained and ragged, but you managed to retrieve a map of the area. This was something that Eric was reading and occasionally showing you. Brad, I imagine you weren't too interested in it at any point, but putting your heads together, looking at it, you can in fact figure out, where you've been, where you came from, the ranch that you're heading to. You're about only an hour's hike from the river where your rafts are. You were supposed to use those rafts to get all the way to the ranch. It is Friday. It is the early hours of Friday morning. You are expected at the ranch late Saturday night, but probably won't be missed until midday Sunday because.
Okay. Yeah. We need to get to the ranch, right? That's what.
Yep.
That's what he said. So, the thing that got Eric could still be around here. We shouldn't stay around here.
No, I think we should take it in turns for people to sleep, and
Great, I'll go first.
Finish your
sorry.
thought, Madsen.
I can start on watch with one person on watch, not two
Sorry, you want to
people
stay?
watching.
You want to stay here,
I
where the
don't,
monster, whatever got.
or we
Eric
could go
is.
out into a bit.
I'm already climbing into my
Well,
We need
sleeping
to get to
bag.
the ranch.
We need to get to the ranch, but also, do we want to go out into the dark?
I shout, wake me up when you have a plan.
Because at least here we know where we are, and I've now got a hatchet, and I think we know what is we know what to expect. We're not sitting ducks. Unless you remember which way I just don't want to wander off and end up going in a big circle in the night and then just walking straight into it.
What time is it now?
About 3 a.m.
3
About
a.m.
4 a.m. by the time you have this. So sun's
Okay.
coming up in a little while, but it's still very much.
Okay, so we've got
pretty
maybe an
dark.
hour and a half till the sun starts to come up.
Yeah.
A little bit
so
more.
I think
Right, okay, we can wait for an hour
pack
and a
up
half.
and then head out as soon as it gets light. Touchdown!
Okay, so you've got a little bit of time. Obviously, Brad's already asleep, but Madison, Killian, are you going to use that time to try and wrestle a little bit of sleep? Or how will you use that time before you set off? Assuming you want to set off at dawn.
I'd like to pack up some of the stuff that I found so that we have some food and water with us.
Yep, fine.
Into a couple of bags.
Okay,
Well, 3 bags, hoping that he can carry on as well.
cool. And Killian, how are you spending this time?
Yeah, I don't need a lot of sleep. I'm just gonna make sure my knife is sharpened. I'm gonna sort
Nice.
of whittle some spikes, wooden
Yeah.
spikes, in case I
Nice.
need that. Just make sure I'm prepared and ready to travel at first light.
That all sounds fine except for the whittling of wooden spikes. I'm
Okay.
going to want a pull if you want to.
Do I need wooden spikes?
You can use this as a walking stick, and then at the end it's a spear.
Yeah, if you want to pick up a
got
stick,
a knife,
you've
I've
been
got a
allowed to
knife.
do that.
I take a couple of experimental stabs at a bit of wood, and I'm like, this is probably more trouble than it's worth.
Cool. Okay, yep, fine, no worries.
I already got a knife.
Right, so the sun is starting to creep up. It's a beautiful, still morning. The birds aren't even really singing yet. You're kind of away ahead of the dawn chorus.
Awakening naturally at 5:30.
Yeah, slept like a baby.
Wow.
My training starts at 6, so
There was a lot of crying. I heard it.
I'm going to say for anyone else would have had to make a pull to get back to sleep after that, but I'm going to allow it for Brad. It feels like the kind of callous and insensitive
yeah, I'll be on
thing Brad would able
I'll
to
be on the football field by 6 a.m.
do. Sure. Okay,
Bullets.
right, so you've woken up, you've packed up camp. What's the plan?
We want to get down to the river, right? Follow the map.
Cool.
Sounds good.
All right, you all pop your backpacks on your back and start to head off when suddenly from just behind you, you hear a from the ground.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and come back with help for him. I don't know if we can carry Eric. There's nothing we can do from here, and if we try and carry him, we're going to be slow.
Yeah.
Eric's sort of coming around. Wait! Don't leave me.
Man. All right, okay, we're going to have to carry Eric.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No, we should.
Eric wants you to, obviously. Eric knows that the time it'll take you to get to wherever you're going, you're going to have to double that to get someone back to Eric.
Yeah.
But it's totally up to
So
you.
can Eric walk, or is he?
Eric cannot walk now.
Eric cannot walk. Okay.
You could probably prop Eric up for a kind of very short, for a few meters, kind of like with help from one or two of you.
I would
But
like
an
to
hour's hike.
experimentally try and haul Eric up onto my shoulder in a sort of fireman's carry.
Cool. One pull for that, I think.
Okay.
Nice, nice, nice. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, no one stamped their feet excitedly. Okay, yes, you managed to hoist Eric up onto your shoulder. You're a little less steady, but you are indeed. He's kind of up there. You can sort of feel the blood soaking through the bandages onto your shoulder.
Okay.
These bandages probably aren't going to hold very long. Eric's going to need more medical attention soon. You can feel a sort of thin, reedy pulse when you check, but Eric is again.
We got to try, man. We can't just leave this guy here. He's a human being, Greg.
Fine.
All right. As you strike out into the forest, the three of you, who is carrying the radio?
Me.
Okay, Madison.
I've sort of made myself the de facto leader of the group by having everything with me, so that no one can question. I'm in charge of the things, so I'm in charge.
Okay, all right. That's yes. You have done that. You've sort of.
I've got the hatchet. I've got the radio. Everyone, shut up and listen to me.
In the morning, you were the first one to get your backpack on and look expectantly at everyone else. You've not said it, but you are basically through your behaviour and body language assuming that, not just assuming control, but assuming that you are in that you're in control. Yeah.
Yeah. It's obviously me.
Exactly. If anyone wants to challenge that or feels weird about that, obviously they should feel free. But
Nope.
They can feel free to shove it.
okay. Yes, you strike out, heading down into the woods. It's lucky that you've got Eric with you actually, because in his occasional sort of lucid moments, he'll kind of spasm and jerk on your shoulder, Killian, and kind of like look around, and it is able to kind of just nod and grunt to indicate that you're heading the right way.
Okay, good.
Again, it's about an hour's hike, so it's not very far. The terrain is a little bit up and down as you go. You have a harder time, Killian, because you're carrying Eric, which was good of you. As you crest a little rise on the way down to the river, Madison, the radio, which you've sort of had on, just in the hope of picking up a signal and being able to get in touch with someone, it's only been kind of spitting out static like that, just ever so briefly as you climb this little hill. You wouldn't say you get a signal, but it just clears up for a moment, like.
Yeah, I would like to fiddle with the radio and try and get through to someone.
Okay, you fiddle with the radio. I'll tell you for free that you don't think you're going to get through to someone, but it might be that you're not that far height-wise from being able to get a signal.
I stand on my tiptoes.
Little further.
You're going to need to get a little higher up than that, I think.
Are there any trees?
Are there any trees? You're in the forest, of course.
Are there any that look climbable?
Make me a pull to find a...
Okay.
Actually, no, you don't need to pull for that. That's totally reasonable. Yes, some of them are... None of them are easy to climb. Some of them are climbable.
I've set Eric down for a moment and I'm giving him some water. Giving him some water and trying to reapplying the bandages and stuff. Just
frustratingly, a lot of the water's kind of just like pouring out and down him, but it does sort of briefly wake him up. So if there's anything you want to ask Eric, we'll say he's kind of almost lucid at this point.
How far are we from the rafts, Eric?
How long have we been walking?
How long have we been walking?
You're a pretty cool guy, Eric. Pretty cool guy.
I want to say, what time is it?
I check my analog watch.
Okay. Eric lets you know that you've been you're about halfway there.
Okay, fine.
Halfway there.
All right. Are you going to try and climb this tree? I can give you a... Greg, if you would just...
My name's Brad.
Anyway, Greg, if you could just keep an eye on Eric, I'm going to give her a boost.
All right,
try and get her up into the higher, grippable branches.
Okay.
All right. So who is going up the tree then? Madison's going up the tree.
She's got the radio.
But both of you are going to try and help.
Like a cheerleader.
Sure. Okay.
Something I've never wanted to be, but
I'm going to say we'll have a pull, definitely a pull from Madison. And why don't we just have you two only need to do one between you. You can choose who takes it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can go if you want.
Greg, you want to do it?
That's it.
It's nice.
You ideally do want to go for the edges. So then you can go for
Yeah.
the higher up.
Yeah.
Nice, balance that out. Beautiful.
Okay.
So we boost Madison
Okay.
up.
Yes, you boost Madison up.
I've been around enough cheerleaders that I know what I'm doing here.
Exactly. So Madison, you're just trying to scamper your way up to the top of this tree, right?
Yeah.
It is not an easy climb. You definitely sustain a few scratches on your way up, but nothing more serious than that. You make it all the way to the top. You're kind of gripping onto the tree with one hand, and you've kind of got the radio pressed against your hip with the other. You're going to try and fiddle with some dials.
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
going to fiddle with a doll and just, hello, anyone out there?
Someone play the didgeridoo through.
You get you do eventually with a little bit of crackling. You reach a sort of clear signal. There's a little kind of two-way thing on this. Are you going to say anything? You're basically putting out a message.
Yeah. Hi, anyone out there? We're from the detox group. We're heading down towards the river, trying to make it to the ranch, but Eric has been attacked or mauled by something. Everyone should know that there's something in the forest. We need aid immediately. Eric is bleeding out quite profusely.
Ranger patrol. What is it? The position?
I'm up a tree.
That narrows it down.
We're about half an hour's walk from the river. On the crest of a hill. We're going to try and head down towards the river to our rafts. If someone can meet us along the river.
It's river.
The river in the canyon.
Are there names on the map?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
There
the
are names
of
on the
river.
map, but the map. Do you have the map up here? It's feeling like a lot of hands.
Yeah.
Who's got the map?
He's got the map still, I think. No, wait, no, I started.
You had the map.
I definitely took the map.
You were in charge of the map.
Yeah, I took
and,
the map.
You took all the equipment.
Cool. Do you want to try and take a little look at the map to give a more accurate reading?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, it's starting to get a little sparse.
Yep. Ooh, that feels like it's coming out smooth.
Okay.
Ooh.
Get ready to fall out of a tree.
Okay.
I'm a very skilled map reader.
Yeah, you use your teeth to sort of pull it out your a pocket on your jacket like that, and you then use your cheek to kind of spread it against the side of the tree, and you can just about see, although it's very close to you. Yeah. You can see the name of the river, and you try to.
Oh, I'm not. Whatever you do, moving. It is imperative. Stay put.
Okay,
On
that's
the
just
wall.
rude now. Okay, we'll keep moving.
and-
We'll keep moving.
Yeah, and the battery on the radio does.
Okay. Well, I kind of had a feeling that we have to keep moving, so
Well,
I'm gonna
they said
gradually climb down.
Keep moving, stay put. So they could have said, don't keep moving, you must stay put.
Or they could have said, "You better
You have to keep moving, you
Whatever
can't
you
stay
do,
put."
do not stay
Yeah,
put."
I think keep moving, don't stay put. I would say do the thing that you need to do, they would say first, if that's the information that they need to get across,
Yeah.
and we're kind of like a bit choppy.
Okay.
So
Sounds legit.
All right,
Yeah.
Madison, you climb, you descend the tree, and meet the group at the bottom. You relay all of this information. You've decided to keep moving. So picking Eric back up and
Yeah. Anyone else want to help me with this?
no,
Yeah, I'll lift him up. I effortlessly.
you're taking a shift.
Yeah.
All right.
I effortlessly pick him up because I'm extremely strong.
Yeah, no need to pull. Cool. Right. Yes. You. What the hell? Why am I going easy on you?
he
Yeah.
appears to do.
Yeah.
It appears effortless.
Hang on,
'cause
hang on,
his
yeah.
pride.
This is whether I get a hernia
Yeah.
or not.
Okay. Oh, easy, easy.
Smash your face into the tower.
Brad, you go to pick up Eric. You think it'll be pretty easy because you've just seen this dweeb doing it.
Yeah.
But actually, Eric's a little heftier than you thought, or Killian's a little stronger than you thought. So yeah, make me a pull for.
Can you use a little bit more blood, please?
You're probably a little lighter now.
Yeah.
Less liquid in there.
Don't worry, Eric is obliging.
He's not sandbagging you.
None of this seems super stable anymore, huh?
I mean,
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
yes.
There we go on.
One hand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, one hand.
There we go.
Sorry, that's fine.
Beautiful.
Where's the best place to put this? Probably centrally, right?
Yeah.
Fine.
All right.
Someone's about to die.
Good
But
job.
it's not going to be me
Yeah.
for now.
It might be Eric. Yeah, you sort of get Eric up onto your shoulders, Brad. Yes, half an hour later, you emerge, break through the trees. The sun is now well and truly up, and it's getting pretty uncomfortably hot here. You're all sweating, drinking from your water rations. But the sound of running water gets louder and louder, and eventually you have broken through, and you see the river.
Okay.
You are. It was pretty good map following. You are roughly where you wanted to be. Just a little way downstream, you can see the two rafts that are there. Well, actually, there's four rafts because, of course, the party was originally bigger. So you can head over to these rafts now. To describe these rafts a little, they're sort of inflatable rapids riding dinghies. You haven't had to do any of that so far, but that is, of course, what you eventually signed up for. The plan was that some of these rafts were basically just going to stay here anchored for a little while and be picked up at a future time. Each raft takes two people to steer.
Okay.
That's the ideal way that they are piloted, 2 person per raft, and you basically have one person at the back kind of steering with an oar, and the other person kind of centrally with another oar, basically steering like that to do the directions. So
Okay. So we're going to have to go 2 by 2. Someone's going to have to take Eric in the raft.
Is Eric going to help?
He can just put his hand.
He could do the back. he could maybe try
Drag his body in
if
the
he's
back
got
of the
enough
water
strength
to
to do the back
stabilize.
oar.
I'm going to say right now, Eric is unconscious.
Can we not all squeeze into one? Is there definitely not enough room?
There's totally room.
It's whether,
The way you
it's
said
whether-
that.
it's whether it would stay.
It's up to
Buoyant
you.
enough
There's no
with
good
that weight.
there's no good situation here, is there? Either one of you is going to be in a boat with a very seriously wounded Eric and have to try and figure it out by yourselves, or you're all going to all 4 of you are going to pile into a 2-man boat.
That seems like
See
a
what
bad
happens.
idea. All right, I'll go in the boat with Eric, and you two can take the other one.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Greg.
It's Brad.
You and Greg can.
It's Brad.
Madison.
Okay. You the 2 of you hop in. Who's in what position on the raft between you, Madison and Brad?
I think Brad at the front.
You'll
He's
steer.
first. If anything's down there.
And
Like
you're just
Kate
steering.
Winslet in my secret favourite film, Titanic.
All right. And Killian, you're just hefting.
Yeah, I'm going to put Brad into. Sorry, Brad. I'm going to put Eric into the back of the boat. I'm going to go up the front with the oar. I'm going to put an oar next to Eric in case he wakes up and wants to help.
Cool. Do you want to try to do anything to improve your chances of Eric being useful?
Let's see. Well, I'd like again. I'll
Slap him awake.
I'll give him some more water. I'll change the dressings and stuff and make sure he's as well taken care of as he can be at the moment.
That sounds
with my
good.
limited medical knowledge.
You've got Eric hydrated. You haven't changed the bandages, I don't think, but you've checked that the bandages there aren't too badly torn.
Yeah.
The bleeding is kind of at a slow trickle at the moment, but he's looking grey and pallid. Okay, just as you sort of all push off from the shore, Killian, you spot on the opposite bank, just bold as brass, standing on a large flat rock, a large wolf, is just stood watching you all get in the boat.
Okay, on the opposite bank.
On the opposite bank, yeah.
Okay. Well, the river's moving. We'll be moving away from the wolf. I try not to antagonise it with eye contact. I'm just
I flip the bird at the wolf.
Okay! I think you're going to have to make me a pull for that.
What, to flip the bird?
To flip to not, well, what did you say, Killian? To not antagonise the wolf.
Yeah. It's a wolf that understands hand signs.
Doesn't understand hand signs, but
It understands an aggressive energy.
what do you want to achieve here?
Thought it'd be funny.
Make me a pull to see if it's funny.
I'm gonna be killed by flipping the bird.
How am I? Oh, Jesus. Exploratory pokes. Ooh, the exploratory pokes are doing some wobbling. Okay. Good stuff.
Where's the best place to put it?
On the top.
Yes, obviously. Thanks. But I mean, like, where on the top?
GM, I'm here to help.
There's a lot of missing here.
Yeah,
there's also a lot missing.
There's a lot
here.
missing from this side. If I was going to put it somewhere, I'd put it there. But it's not up to me. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, you double flip off the wall, and it's freaking funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Madison, Killian, despite yourselves, you
it's
a little
quite funny, yeah.
chuckle. Is get something about the ridiculous's of the situation. Sometimes things are so bad, all you can do is laugh.
Yeah.
Does Eric laugh?
Eric, his eyes kind of flutter open, and he sees the scene unfold, and he goes, blah, and pukes up some blood.
I go, oh great, you're awake. Can you take this oar?
Yeah, you press it into his hands, and he goes, "Are we going?
Yep. Let's go. I push off from the bank.
What time is it?"
I check my analog watch.
It is, let's say it's 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Eric.
At this point, you've made slow progress on this hours.
We're going to get you out of here, buddy. We're heading to the ranch.
I get you. You pull away. The very large wolf that's just kind of watching you from the other side of the shore. It just kind of keeps pace for a little while with the rafts, and then after a little while, it just disappears, melts back into the foliage. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right, there are no rapids on this stint of the journey.
Great.
So this part passes in relative peace. Eric is not able to do any steering, but because the water's not too choppy, Killian, and because actually you're kind of, with bicep action, which there is a surprising amount, you're able to, steer and push, and you're basically making it work.
Okay.
You two are having a much easier time, although you're a little distracted by the sight of Killian just, working the guns a little. Okay.
I'm like, this is just like my favourite film, The Expendables, where Jason Statham was at the front of that plane on a machine gun. I'm enjoying myself.
I can't hear you.
I've zoned out.
I don't hear it.
Right. Yes, probably you're...
I'm imagining I'm Kate Winslet.
Okay, yeah. Probably, you're
Kate
imagining...
Winslet in The Expendables.
No, in Titanic. My
okay.
secret real favourite.
Brad's imagining that he's Kate Winslet in Titanic, but he's telling everyone he's Jason Statham in The Expendables when Leonardo DiCaprio holds Jason Statham up at the front of the
And
And Jason Statham says, I'm flying!
Yeah.
I'm flying, Jack!
I'm flying, Jack.
And Leonardo DiCaprio realises that Jason Statham is older than 26 and kicks him into the ocean.
Okay, your two craft. They cruise down the river. You're kind of going. If you look at the shore, you're traveling at a pretty brisk walking pace because the current is not ferocious, but reasonably strong. You proceed like this through the day. Are you kind of eating some supplies?
Yeah.
Eating and
I've got
drinking.
some kind of little protein
got
bars
some
that I'm giving
Lunchables.
everyone.
Okay,
Breaking
brilliant.
into them.
I need to have at least 3 protein bars every 6 hours, or
Yes, you do.
I lose my swole.
Okay, it is getting to be a little bit dark. That's how long you've been on these boats. So it is coming up on Friday night. Again, you were expected to make it to the ranch Saturday night. Obviously, you've been making slow progress with your guide severely maimed. So you've got a whole another day's journeying tomorrow before you can even expect to get to the spot
On the
you want
river.
to get to. Along the river. So you have another decision to make. Is it time to pull up on shore, find a campsite, or are you going to take the very significant risk of
Rafting through the night.
rafting through the night, knowing that there are rapids ahead?
Do we have flashlights?
Yes, you have two.
I'm not sure 2 flashlights will do us for.
How bright is the moon, for example?
The moon tonight, it's a full moon.
Big and bright. Pretty
Right.
Big and pretty bright. Yeah, you can.
I don't know if Eric leaving him. I think we need to get him to the ranch as quick as possible. I think he's in a bad way. If we wait another 8 hours to camp, I'm not sure if he's going to make it.
Yeah. Fair enough. The nerds run the numbers. We need to get
Okay.
Eric to the camp.
Okay. You decide to press on through the night, potentially complicating matters. As you start to move, you can feel a little heavy, a little bit of like spray kind of hitting your faces. Is this?
It's starting to get.
Are you coming up to the choppy rapids, or
No.
maybe not? It's rain. It seems to be getting heavier.
Oh no! It's gonna fill up the boats. Yeah.
Maybe we do need to pull over and see if
Yeah,
this is going to
just
pass.
try and we can, yeah. I think.
Is
we
there
need
anywhere good to? Are there any good landing points around here? Can we start to sort of ease over to the bank?
Okay, if you want to find a good campsite, that feels like a pull.
Okay.
Anyone can make it.
What if we
You
want to
all
find an
wanna-
average campsite?
If you want to find an average or bad campsite, you don't have to pull.
Well, can we just like pull up onto the?
Just
Is
by
there
the
a
river.
like a shore, a river
Yeah.
shore that we
There's
can
a
pull
shore,
up
yeah.
onto and just have the boats and just get a measure of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. So you steer the boats over to one side of the river. It's a kind of
This side of the river the wolf wasn't on.
yep, fine.
point.
It is a shallow, gravelly expanse. It's kind of imagine that the river kind of very gradually here sort of fades to the shore, a large kind of gravel bank, so you can kind of
Okay.
pull the boats up on there. It's getting darker and it's raining heavier and heavier. Around you, from what you can see in the gathering gloom, basically there's this wet gravel stretching around you. Further off is the forest, and there's a bunch of vegetation and stuff. That's where you are.
Okay.
Should we start some sort of fire?
In this weather, we haven't got
Yeah.
any kindling. All the wood around here will be wet.
That's a good point.
Okay.
There's no. Is there any like shelter under the trees?
Yeah, there could be. If you want to find shelter from the rain, if you want to have a really good pull, you're
Just-
probably going to have to scope around a little bit.
Yeah, I'll
for
just
which
take a
I-
torch and like look around the sort of immediate area of the bank.
Around the
we're pulled in.
immediate area, no, there's nothing that's going to protect you from the rain.
What if we pull the boats out of the water and have them upside down?
Hey now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to try and do that. Like,
Yeah.
drag the boats and just turn them up, just to sit underneath.
That's a good idea, and with the three of you, I don't think that's going to require a pull. So yeah, you have got the boats upside down. You're obviously already like a little wet from the rain, so you're now under. Are the boats kind of like suspended by anything?
We
Yeah,
put them
propped
in
up.
together,
Fix them together
like
like
that.
kind of tent them together. Yeah,
Yeah, with a
yeah.
wooden pole in the middle to hold their balancing on.
That's a great idea. Okay, so you're all hunkered in here. It's not dry, but it's not too and it's not too cold because it's kind of sealed in. You're sort of sealed in
Yeah.
by the boats. So yeah, your kind of combined body heat after a long day. It's steamy and very, very close in here.
How's Eric getting on?
Well, Eric is in a pretty bad way.
Not that I care,
He-
but how is he?
It might just be like rain or moisture on his forehead, or it might be the first signs of fever. He's He's he's
Okay.
very grey, pallid. He hasn't said anything in quite a while.
Just gonna get a wet towel and just put it over his forehead to try and keep him cool.
Yeah, sure.
Just hold a towel out of the
out
boat
of
for a bit.
Okay. How long have we got till morning? Till
You're the one with
sunup?
the analog watch.
Yeah.
Well, you've got about from this point you've got about 12 hours. We'll say it's about 6 p.m.
Oh
now.
man, that's so early.
Yeah. Let's be generous. Let's say it's about 11 p.m. now.
Okay.
Okay.
You're doing this over the summer. The days would be long. Yeah, 11 p.m.
I think we should just try and get. Hopefully, the rain will ease up before sunup, and we can head off earlier. But yeah, we should probably try and grab some sleep. Eat some
I get
food.
into my sleeping bag.
Okay. Right. Anyone who wants to sleep, I'm going to need a pull for that.
What?
Because this is not the kind of situation in which any character would find it easy to sleep.
All right, fine. I don't sleep.
Yeah. You can choose to not sleep. That's also totally fine. So,
I just have to picture the touchdowns in my head.
everybody staying awake?
Yeah, I'm just resting my eyes, but obviously that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've got with my hatchet. No one's taking the hatchet.
You're just holding the hatch. The rain continues to come down. It gets a little heavier, but it doesn't get too terrifyingly stormy. It does, however, have a blanketing effect on the sound because it's quite loud, drumming on the exterior of the boat. Like that. You can't hear very much else. The sounds of the outside world are pretty deadened to you. However, being as none of you are asleep, you all hear a sort of crunch sound of some gravel quite nearby. Crunch. And then another one. Crunch.
Okay, I would like to get my flashlight and
Okay.
flash it in the direction and just like make a real deep visceral growly scream to try and freak out whatever it is, because if it's an animal, hopefully they'll go "Ugh," and just run off.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I've got my hatchet as well.
Yeah,
and
and
if
there's-
that doesn't work, I'll go.
All you're doing is great. All you're doing is shining the torch and screaming. No need to pull for that. Yeah, so you one quick motion, flashlight on, and just yell as loud as you can over the raining and your own screaming.
Yeah.
You can't really hear if anything's happened, but a moment later, crunch, and then from the other side of the boats, crunch,
I open my knife.
crunch.
Just unclasp it.
Cool. That sounds good. Now added to the crunching sounds, you can almost kind of make out a sort of sniffing.
Okay, I'd really like to properly scour the area with the torch to find out.
You can totally see the insides of these boats.
That is underneath.
What are they up? What are they sort of resting up on? I was imagining the boats were kind of lengthways pressed together
Yeah,
against
like
each
a-
other.
like
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
imagining
It was-
more the tips of each boat, kind of like that.
That
a
would be
little
very
bit more
open on
open.
either
Yeah,
side.
you wouldn't get much coverage.
Yeah, okay.
You're kind of sealed in. Okay, yeah. All right, is anyone going to do anything, or should we just see what happens?
I'm going to poke my head out and torch towards the sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah, you do so. You poke your head out and shine it straight into the large reflecting eyes of that large wolf that you saw earlier, and it's a few feet away from you. It's not on what I would call like a war footing. It's not kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's just sort of watching.
Okay, I just gradually come back in. I'm like, it's that wolf from earlier.
Did you flip it off again?
It somehow crossed the river.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
So,
It might not be the same. How much do you know about wolves?
oh, loads. I'm really into wolves.
Okay.
Nerd.
I consider them my spirit animal.
Oh, this is horrible.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? Any of these?
You could always just not know about wolves.
No, I like to know about wolves.
Could be very useful to know about wolves.
Could be very useful not to be dead though as well.
Yeah. Knowing about wolves could keep you out of a situation where you have to make a pull to.
Oh.
Oh, hello. That has potential.
Yeah. Oh god.
Remember, you can back out at any point.
Well, not now. I'll get it back in.
Wow.
Somewhat committed.
That was seriously impressive. Okay. Yeah, you know loads about wolves. How is that? How does your character know so much about wolves?
Oh, I've just always been fascinated with wolves. I read a lot of books about wolves.
Some kind of wolf nerd.
Call of the Wild by Jack London.
Sure.
So yeah, it was just
White Fang.
White Fang.
Okay.
Lassie.
Yeah,
Other wolf tomes.
the Wolfman.
Yeah.
Read a lot of books.
Instantly, your mind catalogues the behaviour that you've seen. It's extremely odd. First thing you notice is that wolf that you saw isn't the same wolf that was on the other side of the river.
Okay.
It's a different wolf, although it looks pretty similar because it's of a similar breed. It's really unusual for wolves to behave like this. Normally, they're either trying to hunt for food and kill that food using stealth and violence, or they are hiding from potential threats. So it's really, really odd to see one like this. The only thing that does ring a little bell is that you seem to remember reading a paper once on wolf behaviour when a new alpha has taken control of a pack. Sometimes the wolves lower down the pecking order will behave in a way that their instincts wouldn't normally allow for if it's an instruction or if they deem it to be the will of the new alpha in the group.
Okay. If I relay all this information to the others, it seems like something has come in and asserted itself as the new alpha of these wolves, and they're doing its bidding right now.
Okay.
And their bidding appears to be menacing us.
Alright. Game recognized game.
Okay. It's coming towards us, so we need to do something about this. We either need to distract the wolf, get back in the rafts and make a break for it, or we need to...
Interrupting you from 2 points on either side of the tent, you just hear...
Okay, we're surrounded by wolves.
You can hear 2 wolves howling right outside your
I
group.
would like to also howl to confuse the wolves.
You are also howling.
Yeah.
It's making it much harder for Killian to have this conversation.
Okay.
Should we try and get the boats, should we try and run the boats back into the water, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think our best bet of getting away from these wolves is getting to the river.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can throw in the other direction to distract them?
What have we got food supplies wise?
I'd like to raid the bag. That
We have a
got
big
left.
string of sausages.
You smear it in some of Eric's blood, and
There's a bag of jerky. That's about it in terms of meat products. Obviously,
I'd like to.
the guide hasn't bought anything out that could be that is going to attract wolves.
Okay. So, well, if we are going to throw the jerky, what I want to do when the jerky is thrown is
dip it in a bit of Eric's blood.
turn over. We could dip it. There is some blood around. We can. He's not using it anymore. But I want to flip the boat, put Eric in it, and push it towards the river.
Okay.
If we all run one boat to the river, we can get it there fast, and we might survive if we're all in one boat as well.
Yeah, if we're all pushing, that would make it easier. It's going to be harder to
Yep.
travel with the one boat, but I'm not sure if we can get both in the time we have.
Okay, so essentially the plan is, if I understand correctly, flip the boat over super quick, throw some jerky in one direction.
Blood-soaked jerky.
Blood-soaked jerky.
Yeah.
There's plenty of that around,
Yeah.
just coming out of Eric's bandages, as well as a nasty smell. So you can.
Let's hope he's still appetizing.
Yeah, blood-soaked jerky in one direction. Basically, flip one of the boats over, rush it into the water, which you are very close to, and get Eric in there as well, and basically all just get out into the middle of the
river.
Into the middle of the river.
Away from the
Okay.
wolves.
I love it. It sounds like it's going to require quite a lot of very fast physical dexterity kind of actions. I'm going to ask for 2 pulls. I don't mind who they come from.
Okay.
Volunteers.
All right,
I'll do it, Paul.
I'll go one as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
What's this one doing? Oh yeah,
Yes.
real sweet.
Fortunately, Brad's an all-star athlete, so there should be no problem whatsoever.
Okay, good. Yeah. Oh, clean, real clean. Come on, Greg.
Clean.
There you go.
Okay, this side, do we think?
Yeah. Oh, dang. Nice.
Okay, Madison, although Madison, although you're the one holding the hatchet and all the supplies and have asserted yourself as the de facto leader, you find yourself freezing in this moment, and actually it's Killian and Brad who spring into action. Which one of you is throwing the jerky?
If you throw the jerky, I'll push.
Okay.
All right.
Well, as soon as I've thrown it, I'm going to turn around.
I'm on torch and duty. I'm
both-
trying to like just blind them and.
No, you're not helping.
You didn't pull anything.
You basically spring. You basically both of the guys. They spring up, popping the tents, poof, like that, flipping them back.
The boats.
You spring up,
boat
flipping the boats like that, and they get fall back. Who was throwing the jerky? It was
Me.
Brad.
Yep.
Brad.
Great.
Yeah, with your sportsman's arm, you just hoy this jerky into the distance. Both the wolves follow it and kind of like pad after it. They're a little confused. They're not really sure what to do. In that moment of confusion, Killian, you basically get your shoulder behind the boat and just dum 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 dum. You're also just dragging Eric by his arm.
Get him in the boat, right?
Yeah, again.
Yeah. Swing
Push it
up.
into the shallows. Push it in there. You all pile in, and the boat just bobs out into the middle of the river. You all kind of like piled in face first and stuff, so
Yeah.
it takes you a moment to right yourself. Also, this raft is very
Yeah.
precarious at this point. But as you look back to the shore in the moonlight, you can see both wolves just watching you, and then a larger shape, and that's all you can discern at the moment, but a much larger shape seems to just sort of emerge out of the woods and just comes and stands between those two wolves. It's got all you can make out are a pair of blood red eyes,
It'll be that new alpha.
Mm.
Much larger, deadlier wolf.
and all three wolves just
Shining the torch.
shining.
Can I see it?
Yeah,
Any better?
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can see it a little better. It's
Do
of
you spot a glimmer of intelligence?
well, wolves are very intelligent animals.
I know, but like more intelligence.
There
It's
is.
reading the Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, exactly. Is it a nerd wolf?
I'd describe it as a deep animal cunning in these blood red eyes. What you definitely can tell from this torchlight, just picking up picking out some of the details in the darkness, it's much larger than any wolf has a right to be or has ever been documented, and we're talking 3 times the size. It's enormous, and also the shape of it is just somehow so wrong. It's kind of wide where it should be narrow,
Right.
and vice versa, and where you expect a joint to go one way, it just seems to kind of go off at a slight angle.
Having seen the wounds on Eric,
Mm,
does it seem like this could be what caused them?
absolutely,
Oh my god.
very much so.
Okay, I have a theory. Let's not let Eric die, because I think he might turn into one of those.
Would turn in like a
Like a
werewolf.
werewolf.
Yeah. Look, I read a lot of horror stories, and I like it, and it's all fun and games. Then you're in the woods, and there's a big
I enjoy
wolf
a
with-
horror story as much as anyone else, Madison. Werewolves aren't real. Okay, we're really in a real situation
Yeah.
here
This is
with a
serious,
dying
probably.
guy, and we need to get him to the ranch.
Yeah,
Obviously, we
so
don't want
he
him to
doesn't
die. But
turn
let's
in-
not start letting this stuff get into our head, all right? We can't start believing. Wait, there's not going to be vampires and mummies next, all right? We
No,
just
that
need
would
to-
be silly. You're twisting
Oh yeah,
my
that
word.
would be silly, but werewolves is not silly.
At this
I'm
point,
quite on edge.
At this point, understandably, at this point, Eric just sort of doesn't sit up. He can't, but like twists a little bit and goes. It's a rare moment of lucidity from Eric,
Right.
and he looks around at you.
How you feeling? Werewolfy at all? Exactly.
Shut up, Greg.
Brad,
It's like 4 a.m.
these babies never come on. Sorry. I put these sunglasses on when Sublime stopped touring and swore I wouldn't take them off until the two remaining members of the band quit forever.
Hey, you're going to be there when that happens, man. So you're going to make it. You'll get to see that reunion tour.
He's looking up at the stars. Oh yeah, I would like that very much. Where are we?
We're back on the river. There's some real
Back
wolf,
on the river?
there's
We're
some
down
real
one
wolf
boat.
problems. Yeah, we're still heading to the ranch, but there's wolves out here. The banks aren't safe.
Did you get my he's sort of clutching
pendant.
at his neck and
The pendant. Greg, you've got it.
Yeah, I'm wearing it. It looks good on me.
I want you to, if you get out of here, tell my story. I need you to give that pendant to my wife.
Okay, but it does look really good on me. So, you sure you want it to go to her?
Why? How am I alive?
I think he said give it to me.
You're going to be okay, Eric.
He's sort of kind of, again, he's kind of clawing at his neck where there are those gouges, those not too deep scratches and gouges and teeth marks and stuff. How am I alive?
We've been
Power of Sublime.
We've been trying to keep you alive. We've been looking after you.
Okay, cool. That's all you're getting from Eric.
Okay, he's out
For
again.
now.
Let's try and keep him comfortable.
Okay, the night wears on as you go this. You know, another bit of wolf knowledge. You know that normal wolves, if you're ever trying to escape from a wolf, or just a bit of wolf tracking fact for you, they have a real hard time tracking over water. They tend to lose sense that way.
Yeah.
And they, although they, mechanically can swim, they very much prefer not to.
Yeah. So we could learn a lot from wolves, man. Wolves don't put on a suit and tie and go to the office. Wolves, they just live the way they want to live. I think that's groovy.
They also have to crap in the forest, though.
They get to crap in the forest.
Yeah, we should all be so lucky. You're all living in your toilet prisons. Not me, man. Not me.
Remind me never to come to a barbecue at your house.
I don't eat meat.
As you're sermonizing like this, the rain clouds have started to clear. None of you have slept. You haven't really eaten very much. You've thrown away some of your rations, necessarily, but you're all starting to feel the pangs of hunger. That if any of you were getting on each other's nerves anyway, like you're pretty hungry, very tired, very scared.
Greg is on my last nerve.
Greg is on your last nerve.
Am I starting to look like a big sausage roll to you?
I am a vegetarian, I told you.
They do vegan ones.
You look like a big vegan sausage roll. Yeah.
Okay, as the clouds, the storm clouds start to part, you've been sermonizing Killian about wolves. So you don't,
better way of life.
you don't hear this, but it's all kind of like white noise to you, Brad. It's just kind of
Yeah, I'm running through offensive plays in my head.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you've been making some pretty offensive plays so far in the last
Hey,
couple of
I
nights.
didn't flip the wolf off the last time, and that took a lot of restraint, all right?
It was very brave. However, a different kind of droning kind of catches your ears. It's kind of a... And as you look up through the gaps in the clouds, you just briefly see like a little blinking red light.
Helicopter!
Yes, the plane.
Flash the flashlights!
Oh, we have a signal flare, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's set off the signal flare.
Okay. All right. Great. Yeah, you've got a couple of signal flares.
Just do one, just in case.
Right. You can let off this signal flare just by firing the gun. It's very easy. Is there
Okay.
anything that you want to do to try and increase the likelihood of you getting seen? Is there anything you
You
can
can flash
think
the
of?
flashlights at the same time, right? That's not too difficult.
Okay.
Do we want to like pull up while we do this, so we're in the
Yeah,
place where
we're in because otherwise they'll look down and we won't be there anymore. So I think
Yeah.
pull up, just to the side, and
Okay.
then just
But
right.
stay in the boat in
just
case
just
any
at the
wolves
bank.
turn up on the
Okay.
bank.
Cool. All right, which side of the bank are you going to?
The opposite to where the big wolf was.
Yeah, wherever the big wolf was, we want to be
We're
on the other side.
Yeah, if there's one smaller wolf, that's better than two smaller wolves and one big
Big
wolf.
horrible mutant wolf.
That's fine. You pull. You kind of scooch the boat over into the. So again, the current has been steadily increasing, but isn't yet too ferocious.
Okay.
And who's firing the flare?
Madison's got the gun.
Okay, Madison, you fire up the flare. Your eyes are looking skywards at this plane. Here's what you see. Is it like that? You see the plane is just going overhead.
Don't say you hit it.
Great shot, man.
I'm waiting for that moment.
It's not, the flare's not nearly that
No.
high.
Good, okay.
In fact, the flare is like at such a different level of height. You see the plane change course
Yeah.
and keep flying.
Oh.
Okay.
Might mean help's on the way.
It might. The other two of you, as the flare goes up and a sort of a bar of red light, for it is indeed a red flare, kind of goes like that up from the river upwards. You both see, just for a moment,
Is it a big wolf?
the reflected glimmer of several sets of eyes watching you from
Everyone back in the boat.
the opposite shore.
Okay, the opposite shore.
Yeah, the opposite shore. Yeah.
Okay.
Are they within flipping off distance? No, I'm not going to.
He just kind of like, what do you want to do? You want to hang out here for a little bit, wait till morning, or do you want to set off again?
I mean, that plane's, it's not like, if it was a helicopter, it might be able to land like nearby.
Yeah.
If it's a plane, it's going to have to go back for help.
At least they sort of, if they saw it, they know our
They know we're
vague
missing,
location, and we told them we were going to the ranch. So I think we press on.
We're not technically missing yet, are we?
Yeah, no.
We're
I would-
late. We're slightly late if it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
Is there like on this?
You're
Wait,
not,
is it even
you're not
Saturday
even,
night?
No,
It's Friday
it's not.
night,
It's still.
Saturday
yeah, it's
morning,
Friday.
I guess.
It's the early hours of Friday night. Yeah. Sort of. I mean, I guess it depends where you count it. Early Saturday morning, late Friday night.
Is there any like sand or open dirt on the floor?
Yeah, sure.
I would like to scour in the thing gone downstream to ranch.
Yep.
Help.
Fine. Good idea. Yes, you do that.
Let's hope it doesn't rain again.
And then we're just hopping back in the.
Gotta do it.
I think-
Gotta do it. What else? What other choice do we have?
Okay. Well, here are your options. You're here. It's the night. Wolves are on the opposite shore. Ahead of you, you all know the current's been picking up. Ahead of you are the rapids. They're going to be easier to deal with. I mean, easier being a relative term, with a wounded guide and all piled into one boat. In the daylight, might be a little easier, but then on the other hand, you'd have to wait there, and the wolves are here.
Yeah. I think if we've got 4 people in one boat, I think we can have 2 people on. It's quite like it's a bright full moon. We have 2 people on the oars and 1 person on a torch, like ahead of us, so we can identify rocks and stuff. I think that's our best chance right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. Kind you all pile back into the raft, and yeah, kind of pull out back into the middle of it. It is a bright moonlit night, but it's still pretty dark. Your eyes are not quite adjusted from the brightness of the flare, so things around you do seem a little darker for now. Brad, it might be your imagination, but you thought you saw something large in the darkness just kind of move down to the water, possibly just slide into it. Hard to know though, very difficult to make it out.
Okay.
In any case, you're all in the boat now.
Am I in Titanic position?
You can be in Titanic position if you want to be the one who was holding the torch in
Yes.
this scenario. Okay. So you're at the front, Brad, holding.
But you're not doing. Okay, fine.
Okay, so Brad, one of the strong 2, is not doing.
I'll have to take the front. I'll take the front oar position.
Madison.
I'll take the back oar, and I'll be also torching a little bit out to the back just to keep an eye on things.
I bet you'd like that, wouldn't you? And, and we've got. And where's Eric?
In the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Low center of gravity. In the center.
Eric.
I got.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would like to be at the front and also powering the outboard motor I brought with me. Yeah. Unfortunately,
Okay.
so much.
It's the early hours of the morning now, and the current is starting to pick up. You think it probably won't be long. From the floor of the raft, Eric goes and sort of goes still.
Okay, well, I'm at the front. I can't really do anything.
Okay,
about it.
I'm gonna check his pulse and be like, Eric.
There is.
Eric.
Try and keep him conscious.
Eric.
There is
I'm like,
there is a pulse. It's very, very thin.
I give him some water.
He makes no motion as if to imbibe it. It just splashes. Some of it goes in him, sure, but it's for all you know, it's just filling his lungs. The rest of it just pours out the side of his cheeks.
Oh no.
Eric.
Oh no.
Is Eric
Okay.
gone?
Well, I
There's a
think he's
thin pulse.
nearly there.
There's a thin
he's
pulse.
nearly there.
You could just save time and dump him over the side.
He's not dead.
But he's like about to be, right?
Well, even if he is dead, then we want to give him a proper burial. He's a human being.
Burial at sea.
It's a river.
See?
Burial at river.
He's got a wife. He was talking about. We can't
that's
just
true.
throw his body into the river.
As you are having this conversation, that you just hit an eddy in the current, and you can. The boat really. Whoa.
Okay. Well, I need to
There's a lot of
focus.
weight in this.
I need to focus on this rowing.
Okay. All right. You're keeping Eric in the boat. That's good of you. It's the moral thing to do. Okay.
I've made my position clear, and now I'm rowing.
This is just a reminder that you don't always have to act as a group. You should feel.
Yeah.
Liberated to maybe punt Eric into.
I mean,
I'll keep an eye on it.
I'm focusing on rowing now.
I don't.
You
I
could
want you to.
probably
I just want you to be true to your characters. That's all. That's all I want. Okay.
focusing on
Okay.
rowing.
Cool. Okay.
I'm keeping an eye on Eric because I'm still convinced he's gonna turn into something.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And
All
so
right.
I'm checking on him and trying to keep him alive, but I've also got hatchet at the ready.
Sure.
Wow.
Brad, tell me where your head's at in this moment.
I'm like, it's less that I think he's going to turn into a werewolf. I'm more like,
Not necessarily Eric, just everything.
yeah, okay, like,
Okay.
Yeah.
sort of. I mean,
Fine.
I've had better nights.
thinking about Titanic. It's keeping
Okay.
me going.
Fair enough. Right. So if anyone wants to have any kind of last minute snacks, rations, glugs on their water,
Yeah, I'm going to cram a protein
anything
bar.
like that. Yep. Again, it's like we're getting into the early hours of the morning, but dawn is still a couple of hours away probably, and you can definitely feel the water picking up. As you, Killian, as you kind of shining the flashlight around.
He's got a
He's
flashlight.
got the flashlight.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I
Yeah.
forgot you're at the front. Aren't you,
Greg's got
Brad?
the
Yes. Greg. Brad Gregson. Greg Bradley. As you shine the light around, you're picking up like wet, jagged, sharp rocks that are kind of starting to become more and more common in here. Right. You're heading into the rapids, folks, and it's very dark and it's very rainy. I'm going to ask everyone in the boat to make a pull, and that includes Eric. Someone must pull for Eric, but I don't mind who.
Okay.
Unless no one pulls for Eric, and I think you all know what that means.
What happens if, when someone's pulling for Eric, the tower collapses? Does their character die?
dies.
Yes.
Or does Eric die?
No, their character dies.
Oh. Okay.
There's the Dread is flexible, like all tabletop games, but it's a pretty hard and fast rule. If you knock over the tower,
Your character dies.
you die.
What order are we doing in? It's obviously whoever
Yeah,
goes,
Madison's.
Yeah, obviously whoever goes
Leader.
first has the. Well, no.
I'm the leader. I've got all the stuff.
Again, not agreed on leader.
I think you find that when we all got off that thing with the boat, I delegated those two jobs to you. So
You do have the
that's-
option to not. You do have the option to not make a pull, but you'll have to think about what effect that will have on the team as well. Oh, that's tight.
Nothing
You're
about
using
this.
two
looks good.
hands.
There.
Don't
Not
forget
at the
as
same
well,
time.
if this tower goes
Okay.
down, we rebuild it and keep playing with a fresh tower.
Yeah. That's spicy. Oh, hello.
Ah, ha, ha. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Wow, made that look easy.
Yeah.
Alright, my turn, is it?
One hand.
Yeah. Just. Okay, all good. Which? Looking real precarious. Okay. You have to stand up a little bit. That is.
Okay.
I'm not pulling for Eric. Alright, Eric can die, I don't care.
It's probably
I
only
think-
fair that I pull for Eric.
Or just don't. See what happens.
We've come this far with Eric. We need to try and keep Eric.
Leave him to die, man. Punt him into the water. Oh my god. This is horrendous.
Whoa. Damn, that was.
You really love Eric.
That was some real good.
Why don't
Jenga.
you marry Eric, Killian? If you love him
Just-
so much.
Okay.
We have to do right by him. He's a human being.
Okay. You don't. The river doesn't really warm up to it. It's just all of a sudden you feel a lurch like that, and you drop in the darkness down into these rapids. Through immense efforts of teamwork and coordination, you're all calling to each other and kind of issuing commands. Brad, you're at the front shouting out left and right when you see rocks coming up, and Madison and Killian, you're just heaving as far as you can go. Eric, bless him, is just sort of flopping around, a dead weight from one side of the boat to the other, really, really unsteadying it. It's getting, it's getting pretty ropey. However, it does not capsize. The rapids don't really let up though. Like they're pretty long. You're traveling faster at this point, which is good, because you're potentially putting more distance between whatever is behind you, and making progress towards your eventual, hopefully safety. However, it is dark. You're in the rapids. I don't think you can do this for long. You don't capsize, but you give a good call on a rock. You can't quite move out the way. You're caught between two, and the raft just tears along the side of a sharp rock. You hear a kind of like that, and you all feel the pressure go from this raft.
Right, steer it towards the shore.
We're going to have to see
The non-wolf shore.
Well,
The least wolfy shore.
Okay, who's going to take lead on steering it?
I don't have an oar.
I'm at the front.
Me.
At this point,
So-
like the river's in charge. So if you want to try and get this thing like to the side, it's going to take.
Which
some
bank,
action.
Madison?
The one that isn't the wolves.
They're both wolves.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
The big
there's
one went in the water, didn't
The
it?
big one went in
Yeah.
the water. It could be either side. We've seen wolves on both banks.
Okay, well, the one that had the fewer wolves.
Okay, the right hand side.
Starboard then. Okay.
Yeah.
Nerd.
Starboard. Okay. Again, I'm going to ask for a pull for this and a pull for Eric.
Is that from everyone or just me?
You just have to pull for yourself. You can pull for Eric as well if you want to. Ooh.
Don't like it. Don't lean on the table. Can I just reiterate? Screw Eric. That is wrong.
Yeah.
That is so wrong. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's a little cheeky, but okay.
You're going to pull for Eric?
No. I try to reach for him, but I just cannot.
Okay,
Get
so we're
him.
not pulling for Eric.
What?
Is anyone?
Does
No.
anyone want to?
Fine, I'll pull for Eric.
Okay.
Can't just leave Eric.
I
He's
don't have the
toast.
weight to
He's
carry
so
him.
dead.
I'm not as strong.
He's so amazingly dead. Already.
I think he's a werewolf, so that's why I'm
Oh, gone.
What happened? Okay, Madison, digging your oar into the river, you basically swing the raft around on the deflating raft, almost on a right angle, and just kind of pull it over closer towards the shore, and you actually get kind of into the shallows. Brad and Madison, you waste no time in just hopping out of that boat and scrabbling up the gravel onto the bank. Killian, you're about to spring out too, and then you look at Eric. You see the hope in his eyes, or his closed, glassy eyes. You look to the shore. You look at Eric. You look to the shore, and maybe you spent a little too many seconds making this decision, because you get your arms under Eric's arms and just go to hoist him out. The balance goes from under you. You capsize from the shore. Both of you see the thing flip, and the raft is gone into the darkness in moments. Killian, so you surface a minute later, and you both see as he's carried away. He goes as if to shout something, but a rock is right there.
Oh no!
He cracks against a rock. You hear his neck snap. His body, by the force of the water, is just pinned, limp and lifeless against the rock. And then from behind this rock, the corpses, you just see a claw reach around the back and just sink those claws just into the torso of Killian and just drag him around. Eric is also lost to the river.
Oh, dang.
At this point, Killian, I must ask you to leave the table, and we will put the tower back together. Okay, Madison and Brad, we are back with a reconstructed Jenga tower. We're going to take 3 out to represent the loss of one of your party members. Just do that. You can't fail in doing this. If for whatever reason you knock the tower over, it's okay. We're not like...
Okay.
This is the only time when it's acceptable to knock over the tower.
Yeah, let's make it balanced, eh? So one from this side and one from the other side.
Let's do that one.
Okay. Cool. And then one from further up on the other side.
Or down. There seem to be not much weight on those ones. There we go. You want one that isn't load bearing. That's all you want.
Well, yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Okay. Great. Now, when you factor in whether something requires a pull in Dread or how many pulls it requires, there are a bunch of different factors, some of which will be familiar from when we talk about things in Blaze in the Dark, like position and effect and things like that. Up until now, you've been in a relatively comfortable position. And so
Are you kidding me?
When you've wanted to do something that's a little outside your character's wheelhouse, it's generally only been 1 pull. However, as we join Brad and as we join Madison, we find them dripping wet, exhausted, in the dark, on the shore, with no raft, no equipment.
And a lot of trauma.
Terrified, a long way from the rescue point, because again, you were going to be like on the river for a day, the whole of tomorrow to get there, so you're pretty far away from where you need to be. So yeah, things are pretty bad. Your position is desperate, so don't be surprised if things are, all of that exhaustion, all of that hunger, all of that fear is going to culminate in basically tougher, increased pulls. Okay, so here you are. By default, I'm going to say you have basically only your clothes, which are wet through. If you want to try and rescue any of the equipment you had, I'm going to ask for pulls for that. Do you want to try?
I want to see if I've still got my hatchet.
No, but you can, if you want, you can scope around the area and try and find it.
I would like to do
2,
that.
please.
2 of them. Oh my god.
And that's just to
These are
find
the easy ones.
That's just to find something on the ground.
me. There we go.
Okay.
I want to look for the flare gun.
Cool.
Good shout.
Make me another 2.
All right.
That other one wanted to come with it.
Jeez. Good start, right?
Oh, that would have been so good.
Brad unloads the flare gun into his own mouth.
Oh, I already don't like this. Ooh.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Ooh.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah, you find the flare gun. Unfortunately, it's soaked through, and you're not sure if it'll function.
Oh, come on!
So you found it.
All right.
The flare is in there.
Okay.
Soaked through. Okay, right. Dripping wet.
Do I have the hatchet?
You do have the hatchet.
Good.
Yeah, you find it.
Good,
you
good,
find
good.
it in the
Just double
shallows.
check.
The tide is about to the current is about to pull it away, but you just grab it. You just catch its light glinting in the moonlight. Yeah, you have your little hatchet. Yeah. But apart from
Go
what
for it.
you had on you and a sodden flare gun, that's about it. You're a very, very long way from safety. A long way from anywhere that you sent up a flare for rescue.
Oh man.
And you've lost Killian, who probably would have led the planning. This next moment.
Well, we've got to walk, right? We've got to start walking. We might as well
I
crack
think
on.
Keep to the river and walk along.
Follow the river.
Follow the river along.
Okay, all right. Yeah, you start walking along the river. It's easy at this point because there's this kind of gravel sandiness. Ahead of you, though, as again the river. Don't forget you're kind of alongside the rapids at this point, so there's not always like a calm and easy kind of out from. Sometimes the banks can get quite steep.
Yeah.
So if you want to continue and stay near the river, basically it's going to involve a few quite difficult and slippery leaps from like rock to stay along the river line.
Well, we don't need to be right next to it.
yeah,
as long as
it's
we
not
can
like-
see it and even
and
hear
hear
it, we know that we're keeping it to the.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So you're
Just follow the river and rather than walk directly
Yeah.
on it.
So you're gonna-
rather than dance along the sheer drop.
That's fair enough. So you want to head a little way into the forest, enough so that you're okay.
Enough so that we can kind of hear it and not
Yeah.
lose our way.
The woods here are very dense and thick, and as soon as you kind of press your way into them, obviously the moonlight filters through less well here, and so there are trees kind of like snapping at you, hitting you in the face. Your flashlights are gone, so moonlight is all you have. And as you could keep kind of going like this. It's real slow progress, but feel free to go for it. You distantly hear "Oh," and it's taken up by a few other spots that seem to be all different places.
They're further away than they were. Seems like an improvement.
I would howl, but I'm scared of,
Yeah.
of what it would mean.
Yeah, it would
It
probably
might be interpreted as some kind of
They're right here.
beckoning howl.
It would probably be a bad idea to howl at this point. Right, okay. I'm going to offer you a choice at this point. Do you want to basically like keep pushing on until daylight, where you hope you might find a modicum more safety from the things pursuing you? Or do you want to stop where you are now, make camp, and wait for morning that way?
What are we going to make camp with?
Great question.
Well, I've got a hatchet, I cut some wood.
Make a
or-
bivouac.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that is. Fine. We've got so much distance to cover. I think we should just press on.
A little,
I
yeah.
know we're tired and exhausted, but I can't spend another night in these woods
Okay.
with these G-dang wolves.
Okay. All right. We're pressing on heedless into the thick forest.
Yes.
I'd like to try and attempt to make a torch, a fire torch of some kind.
To make a fire torch of some kind.
So, like, you like tear off a bit of like my t-shirt, whatever, tie it to a stick, and try and like,
You've got the hatchet.
Yeah.
But you could potentially generate a spark.
yeah.
3.
I accidentally cut my own hand off. Okay,
So you
right.
cut your own head off.
Okay.
That's 2.
Expertly done.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, it's exactly as you say. You tear off some of your t-shirt and wrap it around. Obviously, it's completely soaked through, but basically you just wring it out, press it against a thing, and you just like hit the hatchet against a piece of flint you find on the floor. You basically do that until it does enough tiny little sparks to just dry out the
A little
tiniest
patch.
little corner of this thing, and then you keep going again, and eventually the thing does kind of just, some sparks do
Okay.
catch, and
Yeah.
you can wrap that around. You've got no, unless you want to like pull to try and find some more or something, but you've got no like fuel for this fire, so it probably won't last terribly long.
Yeah.
Unless you want to keep tearing clothes off, both of you, which you should feel at liberty to do. It is a slasher horror after all.
Yeah, I like kind of, I've got like a hoodie on, so I like tear off one of the, like I can just like gradually tear off parts.
Okay, they're all soaking wet as well. I'm going to say that you can do that, but like you can't do it and move. 'Cause
Okay.
There's no way I'm tearing up my beloved Greg's
Yeah.
new varsity jacket.
why would you?
I have a little look to see if there's anything that's kind of been sheltered from the rain, that like any like mossy clumps or
Yeah.
something.
Sure, yeah, something that could be a kind of more.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah. Okay.
You just love pulling those things, don't you?
Yeah, you dig basically. You find a sheltered tree and you just start digging in the roots, and you find basically some reasonably dry moss and stuff. Something that would be hard to light on fire, but you do have this kind of small, basically burning bit of t-shirt wrapped around your hatchet, and you stuff your pockets with this dry moss.
No, it's wrapped around a stick.
Oh, it's wrapped
Not
around
my-
a stick, right?
yeah,
Not your
I've got a
hatchet.
stick, not
Okay,
my
sorry.
hatchet.
So yeah, you can sort of push. It's one of those. It's like a
Yeah.
stick with a
With a prong on it,
Yeah,
and
you
I
know.
can put a little bit in the middle.
a little bit of moss in there, so you can
Yeah.
keep this. You can keep this little light burning for a little while. A little while, maybe
okay.
maybe a few hours. Okay, so
Okay,
you're
that's all I need.
okay, cool. You push onwards. Brad,
Yo.
make me a pull if you want to not twist your ankle.
Come on, dude. Two?
You can just twist your ankle.
I don't want to twist my ankle. I'm a college athlete. Ankle's insured for a lot of money. It's close. I can bail out, right?
Yes, you can.
Anytime I like. Anytime.
That's a load bearing. That's a
Yeah,
load.
I know. I'm just.
Maybe one.
Oh, and I got one. I
Sorry.
got one. I got
Oh,
one.
good. Yeah, go from the top. That's
Nice.
better. Nice.
All right, that's one.
Beautiful.
What's this one doing? No.
Nope, hard passes all around.
Don't
There's
like any of
nothing
these.
in the middle.
It's horrible though. I feel I'm cracking a safe. How did our tower get so like horrible
I don't know,
so
this
quickly?
tower's just cursed. Oh, here we go.
I got something. I can't. You're making me do 2. So much below me. Alright. Now where the hell am I going to put it?
In the top.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
The ground is very uneven underfoot in the darkness. Also, Madison, I'm guessing you're leading.
Yeah,
the
I can
party.
see,
Yeah, so
yeah.
you're kind of going like this. Brad, you're just staring at this light because it's offering you some comfort, but it means that actually, like everything else around you, is a little
Super dark.
harder to see. So you drop competently into a crouch and basically are just walking more like this. It's the first time so far that you haven't been kind of walking with your upright, shoulders back, confident strut. It's the first time your posture assumes that of a person who is terrified and
When he sees fire for the first time.
yeah, in a bad way.
At the beginning of 2001.
Okay, right. The howling just has not stopped, but the sun is starting to come up now. It's Saturday morning. Saturday night is when you were supposed to arrive at your destination. With no boat, you've got basically no chance of getting there. Today.
So wait, was it Friday night and they'd miss us by Saturday morning?
You're expected there Saturday night. They'll miss you by
Sunday morning.
By Sunday midday.
Midday. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Get that right in my head.
So, but that's a long time away, and also at the point where they miss you, they then have to find you. So, you're looking at potentially days out here. Things are bad. These are all thoughts that you have as you sit, and well, I guess you've got no food. But the sun is up. Bizarrely, although you haven't seen any creatures since the sunlight came up, the howling hasn't stopped. It's just relentless. In fact, more wolves seem to be joining the chorus. And you start to do the maths on how you're probably 3 days walk from the ranch. That seems about right. I think you'll travel 3 times as fast on the boat. So yeah, 3 days walk. Or if you stay here for a day and a half, then they'll might send out help. How long will that take to get here? I don't know. There are maybe no good options. Except, I suppose, trying to survive for as long as you can. And what's standing between you and survival right now?
Big weird wolf.
Big weird wolf.
Maybe we should stand our ground.
Yeah.
If we kill the alpha,
Yeah, maybe will become the alpha. That's how it works.
yeah,
Definitely.
then all the wolves will follow us.
They're just the parents. Anyway.
I'm pretty sure this is going to work, Madison. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, standing the ground. I love it. Tell me how you're doing it. Tell me how you're standing your ground.
I howl.
Yeah. Well, should we set some stuff up first beforehand?
Yeah.
Can we dig a pit of some sort? It's going to take ages, isn't it? We're knackered. Can we position ourselves up a tree?
Probably.
But what would we be able to do from there with a hatchet and a flare gun?
Put your hatchet on like a string, or like a piece of rope.
Yeah.
Create some rope from vines and stuff,
Yeah.
and then like you can throw the hatchet and then get it back if it doesn't.
What if it gets like stuck on a tree?
Absently, Madison, you wonder what Killian would say if he was here, but there's no way of knowing. He's dead.
Yeah.
And all of his wolf expertise with him.
I think we need to be up a tree. Wolves can't climb trees. That's obvious.
That doesn't really feel like standing our ground. That feels more like hanging in a tree.
And then, yeah, well, you can stand in a tree. You just have to be further up. And then when the wolves come, we just like, I don't know, throw rocks and stuff at it.
Or
And a hatchet
yeah.
on a string. I think I've made myself clear.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah. I'd like to look around and see if there's any higher ground.
Yeah, there is a tree.
You can make a proper scout of the area, Madison. Just pull 1 for that.
Okay. I don't want to unbalance it right away from the bottom.
Madison dies scouting the area.
Yeah, fall down a ravine.
Maybe. Okay. What kind of terrain are you hoping to find?
I want to find like kind of a clearing high up.
Okay. High up is not really something you can do because you're in the base of the Grand Canyon,
Yeah.
like far away, distant on to either side of where the river is. You can see these looming walls of the canyon, far away up there, where presumably your three friends and their guide Bennington are having a lovely time
best
somewhere
time.
distant. Yeah, just climbing up there.
Or
Having
maybe they're
they're wolf chow.
wolves as well.
maybe they're wolf chow. So higher up, not really. However, you've travelled far enough now that the forest is kind of thicker in some places than it is in others. It'll take you about an hour of scouting, but if it's what you're looking for, yeah, you can find a clearing. There will be one, yeah. You find a clearing.
Find a clearing. What I would like to do is line that clearing with as much like tinder and dry wood as I can find after the rain,
Okay.
and just kind of get it ready to be like, if I need to.
To set fire to it.
Set fire to it in a ring around us, or a ring around a big wolf and trap it.
I feel like you're gonna have a pretty hard time.
Finding enough tinder.
It's not that. It's the there's been a night of rain.
Yeah, everything's a bit too sodden. Okay.
It's a humid time. I think you'll have a hard. You absolutely go for it if you want. It'll be a lot of pulls.
There'll be a lot of pull. No, yeah, no. Well, maybe just like one fire in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to build one fire in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, you have a small torch thing. Yeah. If you can probably find enough dry tinder to make a small bonfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just 2 pulls for that.
Okay.
Or 1 pull each if you want to help, Brad.
Yeah, I'll help. Why not?
Okay. No. No. Oh, you though.
This is rough.
Madison throws herself on the bonfire. Ooh. I don't like what you're leaving me with. I've got to be honest.
I'm sorry. I can do 2. You don't have to help me.
No, it's fine. I think. I mean, I don't know whether it'll be fine or not, but
You can bail out if you don't like how it's going.
Nice.
Ooh. Yeah, well done.
give that a little bit more.
Yeah. And I think.
So wobbly.
This side. This side.
This side.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let me just get a good angle on this.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's.
He's standing up. His legs are so close to the edge of the table. And breathe out.
Not too hard though, because otherwise that thing's going over.
Yeah, you scout off in opposite directions and come back about 45 minutes later. You're each carrying as much dry tinder as and firewood as you can handle. You can pile it up in the middle of the clearing. I'm guessing that you don't want to set light to this now because it probably will only burn for an hour, if that.
For the dark,
So you probably you might want to wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. More preparations.
Can we put some? Is it worth putting any kind of meat or anything, like a dead animal in the middle of the?
What do you want? Well, we'd have to kill the animal. And
Yeah.
It's more that I kind of want to use the bonfire as like a beacon to be like, hey, we're here, and then have not actually be next to the bonfire and take them out.
Oh right, I thought you wanted to trap the wolf in the middle of the bonfire and set fire to it.
Well, it's not big enough. That was my initial plan, and then
Now it's a small bonfire.
now it's just because there would not be enough wood.
Is the bonfire a lure?
It's a lure.
Okay.
And then hatch it on a string.
And then question mark, question mark, question mark.
Alright, cool, fine.
You've got a dilemma here. Obviously, you're both exhausted, hungry, very tired. To say nothing of the mind-bending amounts of stress and fear that you're experiencing. You have...
and in the game.
You essentially have a dilemma here. How much do you want to tire yourselves out trying to make preparations versus how much are you going to need what little stamina you have left
I think I'm gonna
for the evening?
Yeah, I think we should take it in turns having a sleep because
okay.
it's daytime, and so one of us will be able to keep a better eye out.
Okay.
And if we wake up, it's easier to be like, oh, it's
Great,
light,
I'll
and
sleep
then we
first.
Okay. You can, if you want to sleep, I will ask for 1 pull from whoever wants to sleep. If you successfully make it, I will subtract 1 from future pulls you make.
Oh, yeah.
Bargain.
These pulls are going to get hefty, thinking about the situation you're in.
It's wedged in there. Right, okay.
This tower. What a mess. If you fall asleep and just don't wake up, I'm going to be very upset.
You want to back out?
You're going to put it back though, right? Or do you just leave it?
No, I'm not touching that. Not touching that again. Oh my god. No, I can't sleep.
Okay.
I cannot sleep.
Brad, sorry.
Can I sleep?
Brad, can you sleep?
Yeah.
Oh, what? How did
Maybe.
Can I try sleeping again? If I back out, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, no, you can go back in now if you want to try again.
I would like to.
Like a baby.
Give it another go.
Sleeping like a baby. Ah, such a good sleep. The soft forest ground beneath me. The sound of wolves howling, lulling me to sleep. No!
Okay.
Do I wake up or?
Okay.
Oh, she's gone.
Madison, please come back into shot. Briefly.
Need to explain.
I need to reenact my death. Okay, yep.
Here's how this goes down. You both decide that it would be the best thing to try and get a little sleep. You desperately need rest, and it was a really good idea. So well done. It was a smart gamble to take. Brad, God knows how, but you just shut your eyes. Maybe it was just pure exhaustion, but yeah, you were just able to kind of just drift off. Madison, you sat there for a while. You lay there, you tossed and turned, you just couldn't get to sleep. You were so stressed. Also, Brad was snoring, which was not very helpful. You paced around. You decided maybe you could get a little bit of sleep slightly further away. So you kind of walked to the edge of the clearing and just lay your head down just here because it's still daylight, so you're pretty safe. And you put your head down. How are you going to sleep? You're so scared, you're so stressed. And then suddenly you wake up and it's the middle of the night. There's a bright moon overhead, but you only see it for a moment because a large head looms into view. It has burning red eyes. Its jaws open. In a moment, you're taken out and your head is off. Brad, this wakes you up.
Oh, right.
And at this point, we're going to put the tower back together. Please leave the table, Madison. Thank you for
Your contribution.
Thank you for your
Hold this
contribution.
Hold this
Thank
in
you.
place.
Thank you for your brave contribution to Brad's possible survival. Okay, Brad.
Right.
Take 6 out of that.
6?
Yep, to account for your.
Come on, man.
comrades.
Come on, man. I'm trying to evenly distribute these across the.
Smart.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I like you. I like you a lot. Okay. You've got your.
Is that 6?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, Brad. So, you are startled awake by the sound of a loud snap across the clearing.
Right.
Sitting bolt upright, you realise, oh no, I slept in. By which you mean it's now night again. And the moon is up. Across the clearing, things are a little brighter here because the moon's so bright. There's no tree cover or anything. Across the clearing, you can see a large, dark shape, kind of hunched over, going, appearing to kind of worry at the ground. And you realise that you do not know where Madison is. But as the great wolf pulls its head back like this, like that, and swallows down a large hunk of something, you're pretty sure you've seen that torso before.
Okay.
The one that's
I'd know
flying
that torso
through.
anywhere.
You'd know that. Yeah, you'd know that torso. There's a cool leather jackets and like cool pins and stuff reflecting in the moonlight. Okay, so here's the situation.
Yeah, it's desperate.
Yeah, you are awake, so that's great.
For now.
There really aren't any other pros in your column. You have no supplies.
Right.
You are a little rested, so that's good. But yes, you have no supplies, no defenses. I don't know where that hatchet was, but Madison had it. So
I got my flare gun though.
you've got your sodden flare gun, and
Which must have dried out. I had it in my armpit all this time while I was sleeping.
you can dry it out for 3 pulls.
What?
You don't have to.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. You know I do.
Yeah.
That's 1. How are you already so wobbly, you stupid Jenga jerk? Alright, that's 2. That's 3.
Okay, you went to sleep with it in your nice, hot, dry armpit, and yeah, you don't know if this thing will work, but you've improved the chances.
This game is brutal.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. So here's the situation: you are sat up in the clearing across from you. You've just seen Madison be torn to shreds.
Right.
And swinging towards you, a large head with 2 burning red eyes
Got it.
fixed in it. It sees. You don't know how it can see you because it's still pretty dark, but it seems to have no trouble discerning you because it locks eyes with you. And then it just starts to, at a slightly uncanny, very weird, off-kilter run. It's charging at you now.
Well, it's had a good meal, so it can't be that hungry.
Maybe it doesn't want to eat you. Maybe it just wants to kill you.
No, that's true. I'm pretty killable.
Okay.
All right, as it runs towards me, I'm gonna aim the flare gun at its slathering open mouth and fire the flare gun directly into its mouth.
Bless you, Brad. That's such an underestimation of this werewolf. Okay. Great. Yes. Okay.
So it is a werewolf. I should have listened to Madison. What's that I hear on the breeze?
Okay. Yes. Okay. As this thing kind of lopes closer, it rears up to its full height. In shock, in fact, you can see, like around its neck, there's actually a lanyard, and the lanyard, like it's kind of snapped in half and like torn and mangled, and looks like it's kind of been dragged through a lot of forest and river and stuff. But you can just about in the moonlight make out part of the logo of the Touch Grass Travelling Co. and something of a surname on this thing which says Benningt.
I see. Right, fair enough.
It's a memory check as to whether Mike remembers Mr. Bennington from
Not really.
the other tour guide.
No, but okay.
Yeah. Okay. The werewolf
At this point, that doesn't really seem like that relevant information. to be
It's
honest.
not helpful. It's not helpful now. The creature rears up to its full height. It has broad shoulders and it looks oddly humanoid for a moment as it stands there. And it roars to you and prepares to swing down. And this is the point where you want to...
Yep, flare in the mouth.
All right. Would be 5, but 4 because you're rested.
Would be 5. Alright, okay, well 4. I'll take 4.
The book is very clear, I'm afraid, about going easy. It does not approve. Okay, that's 1. That pull represents the part where you steel your nerves enough to just even get your arm up.
I feel like my nerves are pretty steely anyway, but that's fine. It's your game. What happens now?
That pull represents the point where the creature is just momentarily looking at that rather than at your delicious face and body.
Mm-hmm. And it is delicious.
Yeah.
Three.
That's the one that represents the flare gun actually going off, and with a hiss, it shoots straight towards the werewolf. Towards the creature.
It's a werewolf. Yeah, it's a werewolf. I think we can. It's close.
Oh.
And yet.
And that's the one that represents the creature not moving its head. In time, the flare just fires into its mouth like that. It kind of snaps the creature's head back and it kind of falls backwards and is wriggling around. There's red smoke just billowing out in all directions as this thing kind of sort of chases its tail and...
Right, I want to rip the pendant off and jam it in its mouth, basically.
Wow, okay, all right.
It's made of silver, right? It's worth a shot.
And no doubt Brad realised that Eric's throat only had shallow gouge marks because when the creature went to bite his neck...
It was repelled by the silver. Yes, I definitely worked that out.
Yes, okay. Let me think about this. Let me figure out exactly what has to happen and how many pulls you're going to have to make.
Just think about how manfully I tear the pendant from my neck.
What I'll think about is what you're trying to do. Okay, so you've got this creature. It's stunned.
Yeah,
it's kind of spinning around.
Temporarily
it's got,
incapacitated.
Red smoke is billowing out. Temporarily incapacitated? It is not. It's just back on all fours, just thrashing around. It's very strong, this thing. Very big and very, very angry. Angrier now. Okay, what you're trying to do is overcome your fear and aversion and actually run towards this thing.
Yes.
That's one. You want to, at just the right moment, pull this pendant off.
I mean, just the right moment is probably right now. But yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Or you want to get this thing cleanly off without it kind of flying out your hand, something like that. Which I'd say normally wouldn't be a problem, but you're shaky and exhausted.
Okay.
You want to plunge your hand into the mouth of the werewolf.
Yeah, the burning mouth of the werewolf.
The burning mouth of the werewolf. That's going to be another one. And then you want to...
Release the pendant.
Release the pendant and remove your arm.
Well, ideally, yes.
Ideally, remove your arm. Okay. I'll make that 4. And
this is my throwing arm, so it's real valuable to me.
Yeah, so you ideally want to keep it.
That'll be my football career over. I'll never make the NFL.
You're right. You're right, Brad. And because of that, I'm going to make that 2.
Why did I tell that?
Why did you say I didn't know? -1 because you rested. Okay, that's 4.
4.
You can bail out at any point,
Right.
and we'll see how we go. Okay. Oh, that thing's rickety.
It is, isn't it?
We're going to need 4. We're going to need 4.
I'm the idiot who constructed it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
Brad, yeah. Okay.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. You take deep breaths. This is just like a difficult football game, and you're quite used to steadying intense nerves under pressure. So that's what you do.
Yeah.
You pull the pendant away from your neck. You can feel the small silver peace sign clenched in the palm of your throwing arm.
Is that a bad idea? That feels like a bad idea. I'll go back to that one later if there are no better options.
Just for the viewers at home, there are people like behind the cameras here going,
Yeah. Absolutely bricking it. Oh, hello. Hello, you. Oh, this is...
okay, right. You run forward. This creature is spinning around very, very quickly. Its head is kind of about here to you, but you just thrust your hand into its open mouth.
Okay.
I'm giving you an opportunity, if you want,
to have my arm
you don't
chopped
have
off.
to make this pull if you don't want to get your arm out safely.
I need that arm.
Okay.
I need that arm.
Brad needs that arm.
That arm's my paycheck. It's my future. I scream the word touchdown for no reason
You
whatsoever.
scream the word touchdown for absolutely no reason and just release the pendant. The effect is immediate. Those blood red eyes just shoot very wide, and the thing just throws its head back in an agonized howl. In fact, if you hadn't shot the flare into its mouth, this probably wouldn't have happened, but it's so unbalanced that it actually falls backwards and it's lying on its back, thrashing round. You just managed to get out the way of its huge scything claws. What actually happens, how much of this you can make out, I don't really know, Brad. But what's happening is inside the mouth of this beast, which is now upside down, that silver pendant is just burning down through the roof of its mouth, between its eye sockets, into its brain, like that, and just burning down, and just straight out the top of its skull, and just with a kind of jerking, twisting spasm, the thing just goes still, and you step back. You're feeling pretty good. You're feeling pretty good. Maybe you spare a moment to think about Eric, Killian, Madison?
I produce a second football, and I spin it on my finger.
Go on then. Oh, it's pretty good.
I'm laughing too hard.
It's good. It's good. It's good. Yeah. Like that, Brad. Anyway, flash forward a few days later. A severely hungry
Feral
Brad rocks up to the ranch. There's a crowd of people waiting there. They've been sending out search and rescues. The crew of the plane is all there. You walk in, flanked by several wolves who are now at your beck and call because you are the new alpha. The jock is alive and well. Sorry to our predominantly nerd audience, but this is a big win for the upper body strength crowd. And that is going to do it for us for this session of Dread.
Well done, Luke. That was amazing.
Well done, Mike.
That was
That was
very
great
good.
fun. And well done, everyone who died.
Yes.
Thanks.
William and whatever the other one was called.
Thank you so much. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Oxventure channel.
You're right
You
here
are seeing
already.
This on.
You just have to click the button at the bottom.
Exactly. This is where all of our tabletop stuff lives and dies.
Not this bit. Not this bit.
Yeah, so hit that subscribe button. Happy Halloween, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed all of the Hallowstreams that we've been doing. We will see you later. Yes, Ellen, lead us in a Halloween.